I gotta say, what I am really struck by in all of this is just how insane the media is to say, don't listen to Alex Jones. I mean, Alex Jones has been right on so many things for so long, and he's been called a conspiracy theorist for so long on all the things that are now coming out and verified as true, that, frankly, the mainstream media owes Alex Jones a massive apology. A massive apology. So all of the reporters out there in the mainstream media who have made fun of Alex, and they called him a conspiracy theory, and they called him a kook, or, you know, whatever terms they use that are derogatory, they need to apologize now. It's all coming out. The NSA spy grid is coming out. We are under assault. We are being spied on by our own government. And the media needs to stop with the nonsense. I'm surprised. I'm surprised that they don't even have, they should have like a Broadway special called Don't Listen to Alex Jones. It would go something like, don't listen to Alex Jones. Don't listen to Alex Jones. No one is tapping your phones. No one is searching your homes, like in Boston. Don't listen to Alex Jones. Don't listen to Alex Jones. Fluoride is good for your bones. There are no government drones. Just listen to NPR, because they never go too far. Just listen to MSNBC and give them an audience of 3. Don't listen, don't listen, don't listen, don't listen, don't listen to Alex Jones. Don't listen, don't listen, don't listen, don't listen, because he's always right. Yeah, I've had way too much chocolate today. Sorry about that. That's my singing debut on the Alex Jones Show. You'll probably never see me again. Because, like, no more of that. Get the health ranger, get him off of there. Oh, my God, he's turning the show into opera. Something's gone wrong. Get Alex back here. Thank God he's on an airplane right now, or he'd be calling in right this minute. All right, let's go to calls. Scott in Idaho. Scott, you're on the air with apparently an insane health ranger. Go ahead, Scott.
I think you have a fine voice, Michael.
Well, thank you.
I believe it was Benjamin Franklin that told us that a nation of well-informed men who have been taught to know and prize the rights which God has given them cannot be enslaved. It is in the region of ignorance that tyranny begins. I've had a website since about 1995 where I've taught people exactly what their rights are and what are the meanings of some of the words that we throw around so carelessly, like liberty, freedom, and justice. I've spent probably the last 20 years trying to define these words for myself.
Excellent. Go ahead. Plug the website. What's the site?
The website, you can find it on Google, or start page, just type in jailhouse lawyer and the word angel fire. I'm the jailhouse lawyer, and I'm on the angel fire domain. I've got a legal research engine there where people can do their own legal research, be their own lawyer. Many people aren't aware that at the turn of the century, most people were either their own lawyer or they got somebody that could talk for them in court. That was before the American Bar Association got a monopoly on who can practice law in the courts.
Good point, Scott. But let me ask you about the word freedom, because freedom is always abused. Obama says freedom is being spied on. That's freedom. Can you talk for a minute about the abuse of the word freedom?
Sure. Freedom, like other rights that were granted to us, not by the Constitution or the Bill of Rights, were granted to us by God previous to government, and those are the rights that we need to learn and cherish, because rights are property. When they steal your rights, they're stealing your property. This is the mindset that our founding fathers had, that rights are property. But the Supreme Court of the United States has told us in one of its nefarious decisions that any rights not timely demanded in the courts are deemed to be waived.
Right.
So what I tell people is, if you're not in court demanding your rights, you're waiving your rights, and if you don't know what your rights are, you don't have any.
You nailed it. You nailed it. Exactly, because people walk in, and they don't realize they're walking into a trap, a legal trap. So I appreciate your call, and I hope people check out your website there on Angel Fire. And we'll be back with more phone calls, 800-259-9231. We'll be right back in with more of your calls. Don't listen to Alex Jones. Don't listen to Alex Jones. No one is tapping your phones. No one is searching your homes. No way. Hi, this is Mike Adams, the Health Ranger, with some news about some new additions to the InfoWars store. You know, good health is freedom. When you're healthy, you're not a slave to the medical system. Everything works well, your brain, your body, even your spirit. You're a healthier person. And to help support that great health, Alex has asked me to source the cleanest, most potent superfoods and other similar products in the world and bring them to the InfoWars store. So we've done that. The brand name is Health Ranger Select, and we're starting out right now with these 3 products. We've got Himalayan salt from Pakistan, formed hundreds of thousands of years ago in an ancient seabed long before modern pollution destroyed much of the oceans. This is loaded with trace minerals, and it's pristine, true, full-spectrum sea salt. We've also got Natural Attitude Turmeric. It's an extract of turmeric, very potent, tastes great, alcohol-free. This is from organic turmeric out of India. And we've also got Clean Chlorella. And we sourced and did research on all the chlorella sources around the world, and we found the 2 cleanest sources that have the lowest levels of any kind of contaminants. In fact, this one is virtually free of all metals and all contaminants. It's called Clean Chlorella, and it's about 2/3 protein, and it's got chlorophyll and chlorella growth factor in it. Check it out online. It's an amazing superfood that athletes are using and people are using to help support healthy lifestyles. It's fantastic. This is all packaged in our certified organic facility here in Central Texas. There we follow USDA certified standards, and we're audited every year by the USDA certifier to make sure that we comply with all organic standards. That, combined with the fact that we only source super clean superfoods and raw materials from around the world, means that our products represent the cleanest and most potent products that you'll find across the natural products industry. Check all of these out under the Health Ranger Select brand name at the InfoWars store, InfoWarsStore.com. And we'll be bringing you more of these in the near future. Thanks and take care. All right, there are a bunch of petitions that you need to be aware of. One petition seeks a White House pardon for the whistleblower, Edward Snowden. So search for that on the start page, of course. Petition seeks White House pardon for Snowden. So far, well, the petition says, let me just read this. If you believe in NSA surveillance, we challenge you to a live public debate with Edward Snowden. That would be funny. Let's have the constitutional scholar Obama debating the NSA senior intelligence analyst whistleblower Snowden. Man, I'd paid money to see that. To get a front row seat for that, I'd pay good money. So far, we don't have very many signatures because it was just launched. So add some signatures. We need 100,000, and then the White House will respond to that. Also, wait a minute. I think there's 20,000. I'm mixing up. There's several petitions. All right, so there are 20,000 signatures on the petition to pardon Snowden, 21,000. And then another petition is to have Obama debate Edward Snowden. And then finally, we've also got the InfoWars petition, demand that Obama resign. And how many signatures do we have on that petition, guys, so far? You can find that at Infowars.com or just search for the White House petition to demand that Obama resign. Save us the trouble of going through an impeachment process is the description. And that's a story by Paul Joseph Watson. That's got 13,000 signatures so far, and I'm sure it's rising quickly because that's also a very new petition. Sign these petitions. It's one way that you can make an impact on all of this. Now, we're going to go, before we go back to your phone calls, and thank you for holding, Ship, Linda, Mike, Tom, and others. We're going to go to a video from Fox News featuring Judge Napolitano and his comments on why the Fourth Amendment actually matters. Let's take a look at that.
First, though, let's take this new matter to the judge. Fox News senior judicial analyst Judge Andrew Napolitano. Harry Reid says, we should just calm down, Judge. This has been going on a long time. They've been able to stop some sort of terrorism, this, that, or the other thing. So just don't worry about it. Just relax, everybody.
See, the laws are really screwy here, Shep. The laws allow the executive branch, the president and his agents, to tell select members of Congress when they are doing things like that, but prohibits those members of Congress from telling the other members of Congress or the American people. Just because Harry Reid knew about this for 7 years and it's been going on for 7 years does not mean that it is constitutionally permissible. This is a fishing expedition on the grandest scale we've ever seen in American history. They are looking for a select group of people, and in order to find that select group of people, the Constitution says, present some evidence against them to a judge and you'll get a search warrant for their phones. Rather than doing that, they got a search warrant for 113 million phones.
That we know of.
That we know of. And they said to us, you know, don't worry.
It's fine.
Trust us. We're not listening to the calls. We're just keeping records of them. Who would trust them after this?
That's the point, is who would trust the NSA at this point? How can you ever trust them? And also, how can you ever trust these technology companies? They lied to you, okay? Google, Facebook, AOL, Apple, they lied to you when they said that there are no backdoors. We've seen the Prism slide. There is a backdoor, direct server access to all these tech companies. They've been lying to their users for years. We've got the timeline. We know what year they started the connection. Where does it end? Probably never ends unless we somehow stand up to it. And if we don't, they're going to end up reading our thoughts, okay, and throwing us in jail for thought crimes. And you know, all of us here at InfoWars are, of course, guilty of thought crimes because we actually can think. So that right there makes you a threat, a terrorist for having skeptical thoughts about the fake news that we're all being told by the mainstream media. Let's go to some more calls because we're getting such great calls today. Let's see if we can get a crazy call here at some point. But let's go to Ship in San Antonio. Doesn't sound crazy. Ship, you're on the air. Are you crazy or do you love to be spied on? What's the deal?
Oh, man, I hate being spied on, dude. And it seems like they just more and more spy on us.
Yeah, that's their goal. That's their system. And and you're paying for it, Ship. Your tax dollars are paying for you to be spied on. How do you like that?
It's pretty typical. I mean, that just goes along with the whole agenda that they push on us every day.
Well, what do you think we should do about it? Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, no, it's cool. I live here in San Antonio, you know, and I have a bunch of friends that are, you know, ex-military and a bunch of the alphabet gangs and stuff. And they have, you know, kind of given me info here and there. And basically there are, you know, hubs here in San Antonio that are spy stations, dude. Like, they listen to your calls. They do everything. It's a data mining center.
Yeah.
And there's not just one. There's quite a bit. Like, the one I know for sure is an old Kmart. That's to the magnitude of how big it is.
The blue light special surveillance grid.
No kidding, right?
Yeah. So what do your friends say they want to do about it? Are they just going to sit back and let the NSA roll over them, or what?
Well, it's not like, I mean, I'm one of a few. You know, my brother-in-law is really big into it, like, feels the same way I do. But, you know, it's kind of hard to push, and not push, just like open the ears to people that, you know, don't want to hear it. You know, you kind of gradually ease them into it.
Like,
Some people
at first you tell them their emails are being read. And
you
then,
know, and it's frustrating because you want somebody to be like, you know, takes the bull by the horns, you know, and they are just so naive and weak to say, you know, well, whatever, this is the way it is. And I'm like, dude, you can't be like that, man. You've got to really get out there and say, you know what, enough is enough, dude. And they're like, well, where do I start? What do I do? I'm like,
no, Ship. They trust the Obama government. They trust Obama. See, they wouldn't trust a Republican with these powers. No, because that would be bad. And I agree, that is bad. But they trust a Democrat with it because Democrats never do anything evil. Get that straight.
And it's the naivety and this, it can't happen to us, this exceptionalism. Like, you know, that, oh, you know, it won't happen to us here, which is a crock, and it's a shame that people don't see that, you know, it can happen anywhere. It's not just saying, oh, this could happen somewhere else or a foreign country. Like, why are we so exempt? Why are we so special. We are not. We are humans and people just as everywhere else. And
well, in fact, it's so bad that the whistleblower fled to China to tell the truth about America. I mean, it's like fleeing to North Korea and saying, Kim Jong-un, give me freedom. I know. That's how bad it's gotten in America.
It's just crazy. And it's like, where do we cross that line to say, you know what, enough is enough? Like Adam Kotesh and stuff, I was totally for that. But at the same time, it's like, man, that's a thin blue line to where you got to say, man, what could they stage something like that, even though a peaceful protest should be that of the people. And it's like we have gotten so far away from our forefathers that they are rolling in their graves.
Well, it's clear like, this is never going to be stopped by a bunch of peaceful protests. I mean, I'm not calling for violence, but peaceful protests are going to go nowhere because they're just going to keep lying to us, basically.
Exactly. And it's like if a peaceful protest isn't enough, and these little tidbits of information we're getting that aren't awakening everybody, it's like, what will wake you up, people?
It's going to have to be like a mass roundup of people, throwing them into the incinerators, and then, maybe some people wake up. But great call, Ship. I really appreciate you calling in. Good conversation there. Let's go to Mike in Chicago. Mike, you've got comments about false flags. That's what the notes say?
Yeah. I was just kind of looking at some of the stuff going on in California, and it kind of seems kind of odd how some of these people get away with walking around with what they say that they're carrying. Somebody with a vest with multiple clips and shotguns and assault rifles. How did this guy walk around and not get caught by anybody?
You're talking about that shooting.
Yeah. How did nobody take this guy down?
Well, I know since people get the police called on them when they're carrying an umbrella or a water gun or a Pop-Tart.
Absolutely. I live in an association, which I think they're like Nazis,
right.
Where I live.
Homeowner Nazis.
And I was I was burning one day some leaves. Next thing I know, I have 4 police officers at my house for burning leaves.
Yeah, well, that's an act of terrorism against the environment there, bud.
I'm telling you. And, I wanted to tell a quick story. I'm in my mid-30s, and when I was about 8 years old, my dad took me to Army surplus for my birthday.
Ooh, that must have been fun. It's like a kid in a candy store.
Fun, but well, I got like boots and a little backpack, and then they had like little training grenades, and they had holes in the bottom. Well, I actually brought it to school because we used to play war.
Yeah.
And I threw it like into like a crowd of kids were playing, and I knew it was fake then, Well, the next thing I know, I'm in the office, and all that happened at that time was I went to a Catholic school. All that happened at that time was my dad got called, my mom got called. My dad whooped my butt. But now, if you did that, even if it was fake, you'd be thrown in jail, and they'd throw the jail away.
Oh yeah.
Never hear from you again.
No, they would arrest the parents, take the kids. Yeah, I mean, gee, how dare you have a fake, hand grenade?
Unbelievable. I was 8 years old. I knew it was fake, but it was, when you're a kid like that, it was fun playing war and stuff.
Well,
but nowadays, if you did that.
What if you had a toy tank? A toy tank, it might be a real one. They could.
Absolutely.
How dare you bring a tank to school?
Absolutely. And, I just wanted to say, that the times have changed so much now, and I'm in my early 30s, and I'm looking at going, wow. I feel like I'm turning into an old man because just stuff is changing so fast, and the way kids are growing up and being, sheepled into the way they got to learn and the way they got to think and the things they can and can't do, and you can't have a garden, you can't have this, you can't have that anymore, and it's just America is not America anymore.
Well, you're right, Mike, and now these kids are growing up under the regime of the NSA. So as these kids grow up, everything is being monitored. Can you imagine when those kids grow up and become, let's say, congressmen or senators, all the stuff they did as kids being used against them by the NSA? I mean, imagine that. I mean, come on, we were all, 18 once. Think of the stuff you did when you were 18. Well, imagine if that was all on the record. Come on.
No. So.
Yeah, well, good.
Well, thank you for your time. I just wanted to get that out, and I love the show, and you guys are doing an awesome job. Keep it going.
Well, good call, Mike. Thank you for your comments. Really appreciate the callers today. Let's go to another caller, Josh in Utah. Josh, you're live on national radio. Go ahead, sir.
Hey, Mike, I think you're doing an awesome job, and I would love to see you have your own show if you choose.
Hey, thank you, sir. Well, I've offered Alex to do a weekly health show, like a health exposed type of show. So as soon as his new studio is ready, maybe we'll do that. I'd love to do it.
That would be great. Also, I thought this year's Bilderberg coverage was outstanding. It was great to see they actually admit that they exist. Now the next step is to actually have them admit that what they're actually talking about.
Oh, you mean, are you talking about that conference that doesn't exist?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one. Well, you notice I didn't talk about it today because I don't talk about things that don't exist. How dare you call about the B, the B thing, you know, because letters of the alphabet are thought crimes. You have to talk about something other than B. I'm sorry.
Okay, well, tell me what you want me to talk about.
Well, we have to talk about the Bilderberg conference is my point. Bilderberg.
Okay. Oh, Bilderberg, okay.
And the Bilderbergers.
It was just it was a great conference. I thought a lot of things got out there, and a lot of things came out, and I'm just happy things are progressing in the right direction.
Well, isn't it interesting, though, Josh, that 5 years ago the media pretended that Alex Jones was delusional when he was reporting about the Bilderbergers, and now they say, oh, it's all real, but it doesn't matter. It's just a bunch of people meeting about nothing really important.
Yeah, they're just talking about you know, how to improve their businesses. They're doing such a good job. Yeah. So it's like a country club. They're just shooting pool, ordering chicken fried steak, and having some tea. That's the Bilderberg conference. Well, thank you for your call, Josh. Some good points. Let's go to Dave in Michigan with maybe comments on the NSA. Dave, you're on the air.
Hey, Mike. Thanks for taking my call. I just wanted to say I think Alex did a great job in England, and I've really learned a lot from you over the years sitting in for Alex. And
Thank you.
To the last caller about you having your old show, and I'm just telling you, I'm walking over the window, I'm opening my window, I'm sticking my head out the window, and I'm saying, I'm mad as hell, and I'm not going to tell you anymore!
Yeah, man, say it. I love it. I love your energy.
People are off the charts. The news, the media, the government, everybody. It's in the neighbors, and people are so asleep at the wheel. It's pathetic. You can't wake anybody up. We've been on longevity for 2 years. That stuff is great. I'm legally blind, and I moved from the city to the country on 10 acres because of Alex Jones. I don't agree with everything he says, but I'm telling you, he is the best we got. And, you're right up there with him. And I love what you're teaching us about, our bodies and the environment and, just being the health ranger. And,
well, thank you, Dave. Thank you, Dave. I love your energy and your passion, and you're right. None of us are perfect, but we're the best we got, and it's not about any person. It's not about Alex or me or Salenti or anybody. It's not about any people. It's about how we, the people, are standing up against this tyranny and exposing the tyranny and telling the truth, even in the face of just incredible lies and deceptions by the mainstream media. And we won't shut up, and we won't put up with it, and we won't sit down and behave. We're going to keep speaking out and fighting back against these injustices. We're going to keep doing it right here from Infowars.com and all of the alternative media, which is the new mainstream media. So you're right on. I love your passion, and we're with you, man.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you for your call, Dave. Let's go to Mark in Philadelphia. Go ahead, Mark. Welcome to the show.
Health Ranger.
Hey.
How are you, sir?
I'm doing good today. I'm having a little too much fun, I've been told.
I've got a quick list of items I'd love to hit you with real quick.
All right, go for it.
First off, not only does this snooping stifle and eviscerate the Fourth Amendment, but it clearly stifles the First Amendment because you have people of all kinds, of all their different types of digital communications where they're going to feel like they can't say anything, as if they probably shouldn't have already, moving forward because, both personal and otherwise, it's going to be recorded to be used against them as blackmail a la J. Edgar Hoover for the next decade.
Oh, yeah.
Number one. Secondly, I have not heard anyone talk about the fact that this massive amount of business espionage that's going to be going on here where You know, we're talking about Iran-Contra on steroids.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Mark, we got to go to break. Stay on the phone, though. We'll come right back to you after this break and continue with your points, okay? It's a great call. Stay with us. This is the Alex Jones Show. We'll be right back.
Our viewers have demanded it, so now you're going to get it. More pro-Second Amendment gun shows in the month of June.
What we've learned is you cannot hide behind an I-beam when there's a 50 cal present.
Brothers in Arms, 50 cal ammo review, and more. Coming in the month of June to the InfoWar.
You never know what you're going to find behind the desk here at the Alex Jones headquarters in InfoWars studio. Today, I walk in, and there's the Infidel body armor just sitting here. Oh, my God, it's heavy, too. And I was joking with the guys that we should have a new brand called Infidel Castro body armor that only stops communist bullets. They thought that's not even funny. Gone too far. Infidel armor. They're a sponsor of the show now, right? That's why this armor is here? Or is this Alex's plan? This is his escape plan. He's going to come back, say something, interview Ed Snowden, and then slap on the body armor and head out of here. Mike, you're in Wyoming. You're on the air. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, hi, Mike. I was watching Fox News as I was getting ready for work this morning, and I heard Congressman Kevin McCarthy say some pretty nasty things about the whistleblower,
Snowden.
The younger Snowden. Thank you.
Yeah.
Who went off to Hong Kong, and then Stephen King was quoted also as saying that no country should give sanctuary to these guys. And I would encourage people to call their offices. That is McCarthy and King.
Peter King?
Peter King. Thank you. And
it is a horror novel that we are reading, though, by the way.
Yeah. A former IRA terrorist, gun runner. This man should know terrorism when he sees it. But call their offices and encourage him to impeach Obama rather than trying to discourage whistleblowers. And one other thing, you were talking about the NSA and how health information is not going to be safe anymore. The AIG, the American Insurance Group, which controlled the majority of medical insurance in this country until it was bought out basically by the government. They were run by Morris Greenberg, who was closely attached to the CIA. So I have no doubt that the CIA had access to medical records for many years during Greenberg's tenure there.
Well, it's pretty clear that we are now living under a spyocracy, maybe combined with an idiocracy, but definitely a spyocracy component. Well, anyway, I thank you for your call. That's our last caller. That's our show for today. Thank you for listening or watching on PrisonPlanet.tv. Check more news at Infowars.com. Thank you to the crew today. You did a great job. Awesome show. I enjoyed the calls and the production values. This is Mike Adams, the Health Ranger. Naturalnews.com is my website, and this is Infowars.com.
Visit Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. When you're on the site, you can also tune in 24 hours a day to my daily radio broadcast. There's also a free iPhone app to listen to the syndicated radio show when and where you want.